We have to help and
I'm recording you guys singing. Problem number 26 is the lower half of the parabola y equals x squared plus 2x. All right, so the first thing we want to do is what?
Write down the equation.
Yep. And so I've written down the equation on the piece of paper, but what do I want to do after that?
Graph it.
Graph it. I want to graph the Cartesian equation just to get an idea what it looks like. So I'm going to come in here. What do I have to do?
Wait. What'd you give us a Cartesian?
I have to change the mode. So I come down here to function, and I'm going to graph we should be in courtesy mode, by the way, too. I'm going to graph x squared plus 2x. And so now I'm going to look at that. And so that's kind of what the graph looks like. And I'm just going to come and do like a standard zoom so we can see what it looks like. And so there's my parabola. And they want just the left half.
Hey, yours is different.
Is it? Maybe I entered it incorrectly. Maybe I made a mistake. Oh, it's plus 2. Okay, good call. That'll shift it in the other direction. Okay, good. So there it is. All right. Now the vertex is going to occur right about here. All right. So we could verify what the vertex is. What's the fancy word what's another fancy math word we use for vertex? Minimum. So I could come in and do second calc and calculate the minimum of this bad boy. And I'm going to go to the left bound of the minimum. So I'm going to go a little bit to the left of the minimum. Going to go to a little bit to the right of the minimum. But really it should be negative b all over 2a. And so my b term is 2, so negative 2 over 2a, a is 1. It should be negative 1, I think. Let's see. And then I'm going to guess. Okay, so my minimum occurs at negative 1. So when we go to set our parameter for t, we're going to go through this process. We're going to find our parametric equations, and then we're going to define t. And we want to define t so that x equals negative 1, y equals negative 1. So that'll help us. All right. So now let's do some math. So here I've got y equals x squared plus 2x. I could do the same thing that I did before. Okay. I could set y equal to t, or I could set x equal to t. Let's try it the other way around. All right. So if I set x equal to t, what does y equal?
B squared plus 2b.
Whoops. Hey, that was kind of easy. Now I could have set y equal to t and then solve for x. You know why I chose x equals t? Because this was a quadratic and that's a lot of work. So this time Mr. Adams chose to let x equal t because then I could just plug in my t's for my x's to get my y parametric equation. So now let's verify this. What we want to do, here's how we set our boundaries for x. What did I say, or for t I mean, what did I say I wanted our x value to equal? Negative 1, and my y value needed to be negative 1. So if I plug in negative 1 for t, that's my initial point. That gives me x equals negative 1, right? If I plug in negative 1 here, what does that give me? Negative 1 as well, because it'd be 1 plus negative 2.
Oh.
So my initial t value should be negative 1. Then we just have to determine if t increases or decreases. Okay? So first let's verify our graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my calculator, switch mode. I'm going to come down here and go to parametric equations, hit enter. Then I'm going to graph them. I said this time we're going to let x equal t, And then for y, we're going to let y equal t squared plus, oh wait, it's plus 2t. Yeah, that's right. Plus 2t. And now for our table, our minimum value is going to be -1. Right? Now, just to see which way this thing swings, I'm going to leave t max at 0 and see if that's the right way. So, is it? Nope, swinging the wrong way. So what has to happen to t max? It needs to be more negative. So t max, let's put in a number like -10. Does that work? Now let's graph it. Oh, that's too big of a number, isn't it? Yikes. So let's do -5.
Well, same thing.
Oh, you know why it's saying that?
Yeah, because you have the -1 on the minimum.
Yeah, so let's put, so we got to do the minimum is -10. All right, so we'll do -10 here, and then -1 here. How's that work? Let's see if that'll work. Oh, that works out perfect. Now, if I hit trace and then I plug in -1 for t, guess what my x and y values will be? So now what do I need to set for my parameters of t? How do I write that? T is
T is less than or equal to -1.
Oh, you guys are smart. I think you know what you're doing.